Hello everyone, my name is Tianxu Xi. I'm from Software Engineering and Project Group, PG23. I'm here to present the review of configuration management plan and identify any issue in it. So this review will divide into 4 parts. The first one is the organization and completeness, and the second one is the configuration management, and third one is the change management. Finally, I'll have a short conclusion for this review. For the first part, in terms of the organization and completeness, I think all the sections have good enough detail in our configuration management plan. And for some sections, we still need to add more details. For example, in the item identification section, we have already mentioned all the documentation. However, we need to list all the names of documents that we needed. It's better. It can make readers have better understanding for this plan. And all the sections are completely relevant to this project, I think. We have already mentioned the GitHub structures, the proper file system, and the tools we used. However, the intended relationship is now defined in this plan. We should add it in the final version of the configuration management plan. But good thing is we have already covered all the terms, the acronyms, and the abbreviations in the plan. Here, I have already attached the pictures we mentioned in the definition sections. We have already covered all the terms we used. In terms of the configuration and management, I think almost all the configuration management roles and their responsibilities we have already covered. For example, the document manager should manage the document branch in the GitHub and check all the documents before submission, and the code manager should manage the developer branch and check all the code's functionality even one function have already finished. And finally, the project manager should manage and do the final check for all the items relative to this project. And for the configuration items, I think we have already we almost mentioned all of them. Here I have attached them. We mentioned this in the 6 sections, including the configuration item identification, the version control, the GitHub structures, IDE at configuration, the file system, and the tools we used. And for all the items related to this project are following the security and the recover principle. All the documents have been backed up by every team member and stored in the GitHub, even their own computers. And all the changes are sent to every team member by email and Slacks, which only our group member can check it and download it. In addition, all the content, every team member is required to pull all the content from GitHub to their own computers weekly, and they don't show the items and documentations to the other group to keep them safely. And we also mentioned all the software and tools we used in the plan. Here I have already listed is Eclipse, LaTeX, the GitHub, JUnit, and Ant, and so on. For the maintaining status of the configuration items, we didn't mention that, so we need to add them. But in our group, we have every team member agree that everyone should take their responsibility to the items, and to make sure it following the configuration management plan. In terms of the change management, for this part, we didn't do it very well. For the change classification and control process, we didn't mention this, and we need to add more detail and to pay more attention for this part. Like the change control, we only mentioned the release of the documentations, like from 1.0 to the 2.0, kind of this, the change of this. For the other parts, we need to add more detail in the final version of the configuration management plan. And for the effectiveness of the configuration management process and the stability of the controlled baseline deliverable, we didn't mention this. We also need to add this part and more details in the final version of the configuration management plan. So in conclusion, in the first part, the organization and completeness, we did it well. We covered in good enough details for this part, and however, for some sections in our plan, we still need to add more details. And for the second one, the configuration management, we also need more detail in the configuration management roles and their responsibilities, and more detail for the how to maintain configuration item status. For the third one, the change management, we didn't do it very well, so we need to pay more attention in the final version to add more detail in this part. So thank you everyone. This is all today.